I'm Todd Blackhurst, and I live in Taichung, in the center of the country of Taiwan, an island off the coast of China. By comparison, Taiwan is 19 times smaller than the state of Texas, yet it has over 23 million people who live here. It's a really crowded place. Where we live here in Taichung, it's an easy drive. About 30 minutes we can be up in the mountains, and in 30 minutes the other way we can be at the ocean. It's a great place to live. Maybe you've heard of bubble tea. It's a drink that actually was invented here in our city, Taichung, Taiwan. If you haven't tried it yet, I really encourage you to go give it a try, although it's a little bit more expensive in America than here in Taiwan. Another important thing that you may not realize that comes from Taiwan are all the tiny computer chips that make things run, that make our life easier, like cars, computers, cell phones, well, pretty much everything electronic. It was probably made in Taiwan. Taiwanese people are very friendly and love to make new friends. They like to eat, hang out, try new things. They're actually very similar to us in a lot of ways. One of the big differences between many Taiwanese people and many of you is your faith. Most Taiwanese people grew up practicing a blend of traditional folk religion and Taoism, which is quite different from Christianity. I'd like to introduce you to a few of these differences and then come back and tell you a few ways that you can pray for our Taiwanese friends. First, in Taiwanese folk religion, one of the most important things you must do is to worship your ancestors. So when your grandmother or grandfather dies, you have a responsibility to regularly offer sacrifices and worship to them to make sure they are happy in their afterlife. And Taiwanese people believe if you do this, then your ancestors will help make sure to protect you and bless you and your family who are still living. In many Taiwanese homes, where the TV would be in our American homes, there is a special altar designed just for the worship of the family ancestors. Secondly, in Taoism, people worship idols. In temples like this one, actually. There are temples like this all over Taiwan, some much bigger and some actually much smaller. There are something like 30,000 of these temples spread all over Taiwan. And Taiwanese people, many Taiwanese people who share these particular religious beliefs come to these temples to try and communicate with their gods. Inside the temple, there are many different ways that people use to communicate with their gods. Let me show you just a few. In order to hear back from the idol, Taiwanese people will participate in what we would call fortune telling. And so there's a couple of different ways that you try to get an answer from the idol. One of the ways is using this object right here. And so you take these sticks and pass them around and pick one of the sticks, and it has a number on it right here, and that number corresponds to one of these boxes right here, which has a Chinese fortune in it. You open the box, take out the fortune, and then take that to a fortune teller who can read the fortune for you. Another method to hear from the God is to take these two pieces of wood and you pray and ask the God a question, or the idol a question, and you cast these on the ground, and depending on the way that they land, the answer is either yes, no, or maybe. So if you don't like the answer the first time, you can actually cast it again, and you get up to 3 times to ask the God a question and try to get an answer. You'll notice here in the center of the main court of the temple, there's all these different tables which serve as kind of altars. And so people bring gifts to the idol to make an offering. This is really important. Also, every time you come to the temple, you're supposed to bring an offering to offer to the idol. It's like an exchange. I'm going to give you something if you give me something back. So you can bring pretty much anything. You can see there's flowers, there's food, there's candy, there's fruit, all kinds of things. Whatever you want to bring from your home, or you can purchase items and bring that to offer to the idol. Alright, so let me end this video with 3 prayer requests that you could be praying for our Taiwanese friends. First of all, would you pray that God will send more missionaries, maybe some of you, to come and share the gospel with our Taiwanese friends? Second, would you pray that God will open the hearts of the Taiwanese people who do hear the gospel to receive and believe in Jesus Christ? And finally, pray that Taiwanese kids, just like you, would have a missionary come and share Bible stories with them so they can learn about Jesus, and that they'll be curious to know more and more who Jesus is and what He's done for them. Thanks for listening today. I hope this has been informative and helpful for you as you come to understand more about Taiwan.